I'm a dude, and I'm inviting you to join me on a podcast about brews.
Does that include stouts?
Yes, of course it includes stouts. Like I was saying, join us every Saturday on the journey into...
Wait a minute. Do you guys do anything about like IPAs?
Yes,
Stuff like that?
yes, we do IPAs.
Okay.
Yes. Anyway, join us on the Journey into Comics Network for Brews with Dudes.
Whoa, hey, have you guys ever... Do you care if I bring some Zima on?
Yes, I care if you bring Zima. Zima doesn't count. Zima's Dr. Dongo. Anyway, join us every Saturday for a podcast that delves into the craft brew world.
The following
is a journey into comics.
Journey into Comics.
It's a journey into comics.
Journey into Comics.
Journey into Comics.
Network.
Production.
What? We're back. Yeah. It all started down as a wrinkle in his brain when Nate hit. The Brando got him to pause the game, setting out on a journey podcast into the masses. Formed a pod family, kicking audio asses. Now the Walking Dead is dead and the end game was won. But the war it isn't over because the battle's just begun. The boys are back in action, can't you see? Nate and Brando lay it down, the OGs of JIC.
What's up, my dudes, and welcome back to another episode of the OGs, coming at you sort of live through the power of the Journey into Comics Network. Of course, I'm one of your OGs, Brando, and joining me here today is one of our other OGs, Nate.
What's up, my dude? How's it going, bud?
Oh, it's going pretty good, man. We are here. We are in color, so to speak, after a little bit of a technical issue and trying to use a different service to call each other in order to hear each other over the interwebs. We are trying to do something to minimize lag in between us because, of course, when you are in one place and I am at another, historically speaking, we have had hellacious problems in trying to do a podcast together where one of us says something and the other person just sits there for like 30 seconds and then reacts. You know, we're trying to minimize that. So we got it working, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I love this new format that we have here. I've been using it with Tyler a little bit. It seems to be that the trick is, like, and at least on my end, I have to tell everybody in the house, like, I'm sorry, but for a couple hours, you're not streaming. Like, no fucking YouTube, no Netflix. You just got to shut it down because the internet, for whatever reason, in this modern era where we have quote-unquote high-speed internet, like, if you're doing anything else, it's like, nope, you can't make the call, man. It's not going to be successful.
If you don't mind me asking, what is your average, like, internet speed, like download speed, upload speed?
Okay, if I was, by the way, you probably noticed because of what's behind me, I'm at Dad's.
Sure.
Draxus wall behind me. Shout out to the OG days. But when I'm in Hammond, dude, 170 megs a second download.
Download?
With like 35 upload.
That's crazy.
It's really good.
So why is it that, like, now this is just me. I have it hardwired. All the way back into the back room. I have a wire going from my router all the way back here. I have it snaked through the house. It's a long-ass cable. And I don't think I even have it on main priority.
That is a long fucking cable. Holy shit.
Right. Trust me. Like, if I was going to start live streaming back here, I was definitely going to do it. But live streaming or calling, you don't need a ridiculous upload speed. You really don't. When I was doing research, I would say like a minimum of 4 to 5, right? Currently, my download speed is at 90.
Right.
Now, we have up to 180 here. And then my upload speed, all the way back in the back, with this hard line that goes all the way through my house, is 11.6. And I'm able to live stream. I'm able to call. I'm able to call people locally with no issue. But for some reason, every time that I call you, I don't know what it is. It's like nothing wants to work right. These connections don't want to work. We always have issues, and this was going all the way back to the days with another PC or a laptop back here. Back when we would, back when it was over Wi-Fi. way back when we first discovered that we could video call with a similar quality. And then there were some times where we're turning it off. We're going back old school where we don't even see each other because it is diminishing the quality that much with so much lag.
Absolutely. And thinking about the early days and the glory days of that, it's actually funny you mentioned this because I thought today, I was like, maybe I should bring the iPad just in case, because that's like old school. That's how we really used to do it before I even had the laptop or whatever. So, and then I was like, nah, it'll be fine, and I'm at Dad's, and I think he's probably got like 45 or 50 download with like 12. You know what? It's not even 12. It's probably like 12 kbs for his upload because anytime that I fucking try to get a podcast up from here, it takes 2 hours to upload a podcast. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense to me, man, at all. But it seems things are kind of flowing and we're doing all right now.
Hope so. I'm using a different microphone this week. I've been having issues with my Zoom interface. Over on Game Addicts, we've had issues where I get Autobot, I get Optimus Prime, where my voice is way down here, and I'm just and it's really octave down. But then there's also these little clips in the audio where you miss segments of my sentence. And for this week, I actually had to record differently. I had to record because I couldn't find my little converter screw to use my little arm.
Oh,
so I actually had to do the whole podcast holding this on my knee.
Oh, because you were using the top of the mic of the Zoom?
No, of the Samson, of the old Samson mic that I bought
Oh, my bad.
The first, the original mic that I bought the first year that we started podcasting together. And this mic is powerful. It's a condenser. So if you hear clicks, if you hear me shuffling, I do apologize. If you hear crickets in the background, that's outside my door. That has been in several JIC episodes in the past.
Yes, it has. Noisy fucking crickets.
If you hear cats meowing at the door, that's Gohan trying to get in the game room because we don't let him in here, and he's damn determined. He's gonna get in this. He doesn't care if he has to lay there and put his face right to the bottom of my door and go, "Hey, let me in, hey." And you might hear a screaming kid because I have a 4-year-old who likes to throw tantrums when he doesn't get his way. Thankfully, it's almost dinner time, and I'm really hoping that everything's kind of kosher with that. Also, if there's any spikes in my volume, I've tried to get the volume set on this because this thing is sensitive, dude. It is so bad. Right now, I think it's okay, but if I move around too much or if I laugh, I'm afraid it's going to be too loud. So hopefully, what I would suggest doing when you get my audio, put it in there with your audio, highlight them both, and maybe do a compressor on them just to make sure it's going to put both of our wavelengths at a similar thing for highs and lows, just to make sure, because I don't want if my voice gets too loud, I don't want to burst the listeners' eardrums. I'm still getting used to this. I still got to do some content this weekend with this mic. I'm trying to figure out the problem because this problem has also happened to Blaine and Tyler over at Podcastrophe, and it's becoming a bigger issue, and I can't figure out why. It's not just the Zoom, it's other interfaces because Blaine has a different interface.
So let me ask you a totally side question to this. If you just used the Zoom as a recording interface with microphones and took out the computer element, would you still have a chance of being primed?
No. I think what it is somehow how the interface portion of the Zoom that is USB connected to the computer is interacting with Windows 10. It is something with I am certain it's something to do with the driver and how Windows 10 is just getting confused because with Blaine, he doesn't, he's not using the Zoom his interface can't just record. It's got to be hooked up to something. It's got to be hooked up to his computer. For me, I can take this, pack it up, take it up to your house, and we can do a podcast. It'll be no problem. I can do it on battery. I can plug it into the wall. It'll be fine. But I think it has to do with that USB connection and how Windows is just, it's changed. I don't know if it's changing the sample rate. I don't get it. I really don't, because when it does it, if I turn it off and turn it back on, then it's set. Then it's fine. I don't
But
get
you
it.
have to know it's happened to even catch it.
I know. And I don't have my monitor mixed into myself because I don't like hearing myself talk too much. It's like, back when we would do podcasting together and you would bring all the headphones, that's one thing, that's instant. But when you're recording, there's sometimes just the tiniest bit of lag. Do you remember the voice jammer that we've done before?
Oh my God, that's hysterical. Yes, the voice jammer is amazing.
It's not as bad as that, but it's maybe like maybe a microsecond. It's enough for you that when you're listening to yourself, you kind of get, you slow down, just a little bit because you're like, man, this is kind of weird. I got to focus on talking. And I really, if I'm playing a game, if I'm streaming or recording a gameplay element for our YouTube channel, I want to focus on the audio from that and comment on that and not on myself. But it really does seem that I may have to do either more tests or try to maybe this weekend I'll sit down and I will completely uninstall this thing again and try to get it hooked back up, because when I did that, it fixed it for a couple months, and I don't know. Until then, Samson it is.
Going back to the OG days, how about? I love it.
Yeah, we just can't do laundry because with the other microphone, I could have laundry going and you can't hear it.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Great.
I love that. That microphone is the best investment I've ever made for podcasting. They're $100 mics and they're damn near as good a quality as you're sure.
Hell yeah. I need to invest in some of those just to get extra mics.
Well, I know. And see, like your microphone's like a $400 microphone. And let's see if I have the bag. Do I have the bag? Where is it? Where is that? Did I put it up?
Brandon, wrestling through his room right now. It's hysterical to watch. He's just like, left, right, left. Oh,
yep.
I found it.
Yep. S-E. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Blaine would know because he's got a couple.
Ah, yeah. So that's the whole Optimus Prime thing. I'm glad. I'm not glad that that's happening, but I'm glad you're going to try to figure it out. I don't know if you're going to have to maybe revert to older drivers or something. That's the only thing I could think of. Maybe the drivers are just too new and they're fucking everything up.
If I can't figure it out, I'm definitely going to try and find some message boards and hit up some better audio tech whizzes who are more advanced at this stuff than me to try and figure it out, because at this point I'm just getting so fed up and having to lose an hour and a half of podcast or an hour an hour and 6 minutes that I did for the Mass Effect DLC that I lost. So yeah, I'm just over this crap.
Totally. I mean, at least I can say this time it's not my fault that the episode is gone. I didn't accidentally flip a fucking switch like an idiot. Been there, done that, lived that. That's why every time now, whenever a podcast is over, LaFiCon or whatever, I immediately shut the board off, make sure it saves, turn the board back on, and then move on to the next thing. Had too many fucking and then this year I was driving home from LaFiCon and I didn't remember if I did it for Brews with Dudes, which was our very last podcast of the whole entire event. And I was like, oh my God, I just fucked up and lost that episode. And I was panicked, and I got home and it was on there. It was fine. I was like, okay, good. It's cool. It was almost kind of like a near death experience for me, because I thought I just lost something that was very precious to me. Brando, can I just say though, real quick, we've been both, and you haven't talked to me about this yet. I just saw it on the radar and I saw people talking about it, but you guys got hit with some pretty fucking gnarly storms the other day.
Yeah, we did.
In Frankfurt, right? There were funnel clouds in the area, Mulberry, Frankfurt area, I heard.
Yeah, Mulberry. Yeah.
Damn. Luckily, you guys are safe, it seems.
Yeah, no, that part of the storm didn't get close to us, but that was I think it was trending southwest, and it was at Mulberry, so it just went around us.
Oh wow, well, that's good. I don't know if you had listened to JIC this week or not, but we had to do it late because I didn't have power at all Sunday. I woke up at 7:30 in the morning with Sarah, and we were chatting, and she's getting ready to go to lessons, and it's fucking coming down like a motherfucker. And I was like, wow, this is like an intense storm. I don't even know if you should be driving right now. It's that intense. And it was like somebody took every part of power in my house, and it was like a light switch, on, off, just like super fast, like strobing every part of power in my house, dude. And then it just went fucking black. The girls heard some loud crash. I'm partially deaf, so I obviously didn't hear it. And I was like, honestly, I was like fucking terrified because it felt like we were all of a sudden just thrust into a horror movie. I'm like barely awake. All of a sudden the power's just like exploding on and off. And then we smelled burning. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, did our house get hit by lightning? What the fuck? We're like checking everything. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And they called in to NIPSCO because we had no power to report the power outage. But then they also said the thing about the smell. They had a technician out there in like 15 minutes because they thought gas leak, maybe something had happened to cause a gas leak. And lucky for me, I had the guy come through our whole house. He checked every part of it. 0 cent of gas at all. So then he's like, you might want to check because it could be that your fridge burned up. Because when the power went out, it could have shorted your fridge because it's not on a surge protector. And I was like, fuck. So finally at midnight 30 the next day into Monday morning, NIPS goes out there. They get the power back on. I flip the breakers back on. Everything worked fine. Nothing was damaged. There was a line that had been ripped down by a tree branch that had just fell and fucked it up. And that's what was cooking the line to make it seem like the power was jolting on and off because it was connecting. It was like a false positive connection that just kept jolting that fucking tree branch, which is still in my fucking backyard. It's huge, motherfucker. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it out by myself. It's really big. I was like, oh, fuck. But that in and of itself was pretty terrifying. But I got to ask, have you had any near-death experiences?
It's been interesting. I have some stories from when we were younger in high school, driving with our buddy Jason.
Oh, Jesus.
Which I'll get to in a second. I do have a storm story.
Bring it on.
It was a couple of years ago, and a really gnarly storm came through. Man, this is bad. One of the worst ones we've had since we've been down here in Frankfurt. And the sirens are going off and everything. It's okay. Things are getting real. Power went out, and I have on my phone. You can access the local weather site, for the local news, and they actually live stream online when they have a severe weather thing in the area. So like you can access it from mobile. It's awesome. It's like, so you can watch it just like they would interrupt the television feed. Hey, we got severe weather in the area. Go hide, right? You can watch it on your phone. So I'm watching that.
You don't need to have to worry about your cable going out.
Right, yeah. And I can't remember if the power had come back on at some point, but like pretty much we saw that the storm was just to the north of us. And it was going to miss, maybe the north part of town might get hit. But it seemed like that there was no funnel cloud right there, but a funnel cloud formed right after it kind of left us. But the storm was still pretty big, and they were still watching it. And you could kind of see and look outside. We're like, all right, you could kind of see where the storm is moving on. It's still raining. It pissed buckets. It is drenched outside. And sirens are still going off because Clinton County is still under tornado warning. And there's a funnel cloud. So, within the county. So ours is, it's going off. But I know that we're safe. Meanwhile, we have a lady across the street.
I remember this story. Please continue.
We have a lady across the street who is always mowing her yard. Always. It's like I think it's what she does to stay alive at this point.
Wow.
I can only assume.
Okay.
So it is like I hear the mower fire up. And she's mowing with the tornado siren going off. With the rain now starting to die down. Like that ground, like there are puddles in the street. This ground is sopping wet.
How? How is she mowing at all? That's a powerful ass mower.
She clogged it. She had to have.
Oh God.
Like she had to have. There's no way. I actually took video and I put that up on Facebook. I'm like,
I was gonna say, I remember the Facebook video. Yeah.
Like there's just no way. There is just no way.
I think about there's another interesting story about a storm that I can remember. Kind of similar to that, but totally different circumstance. The Bears were playing the Ravens, the first game of the NFL season in 2013, I'm pretty sure. You can look it up. Don't quote me. Now, interesting to note that the 2012 Super Bowl had a rain delay. I think it was like the Ravens-Niners Super Bowl that year, whatever. There was a rain delay that paused the game or like a power outage that paused the Super Bowl for an extended amount of time. Do you remember that?
I don't watch Super Bowl, so...
Fair enough. So, anyways, the Bears game gets delayed because in Chicago there are tornado warnings, and there's a possibility that the stadium's going to get hit and all this shit, you know. But I'm not too far from Chicago, so that means the storm is probably going to affect us too. Tornado sirens start going off. The wind picks up. It turns, scary pitch black and green outside, and I'm like, this could actually be it. Like, if a tornado drops, we're fucking dead. Because we don't have a basement. We've only got the center part of our house. Even that room is not fully secured. Like, we're really not in a good situation if a tornado comes. So, the storm, the sirens are happening. Everything's coming at once. Where the fuck is Cammie? We can't find her. We're looking everywhere, and she's gone, dude. And I'm like, oh my God, when I was stepping out to look at the storm, she ran outside. She's outside somewhere. So the fucking sirens are going off. It's pouring down rain. I'm running up and down the fucking street looking for this cat in my flip-flops. And I'm like panicked because I can't find her. And I'm shook. I walk inside and Sarah's laughing. She's kind of crying a little bit though. And I'm like, what's up? And she's like, I found her. Come here. And she was in our closet, in our bathroom closet. Somehow, when the door opened, she ran in, and there was like blankets. She laid down, the door shut. We never saw her in there. So she was super safe. She was the safest fucking person. And she's out there getting me almost fucking killed by a tornado. Thankfully, we didn't get hit by a tornado. And that was that, man. Yeah, I don't have any more really good storm stories, I don't think. Not in that regard.
Oh, man. Storm stories. Okay, so here's this wasn't a near-death storm story, but it's a really funny storm story. I was over at your house for a wrestling pay-per-view. You remember this one?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Do you remember which one it was?
WrestleMania 22.
No.
Or was it One Night Stand?
One Night Stand, 05.
That's right.
Okay. And there was a storm. There was a storm in the area, and at the very end of that show, you had Sandman. Do you still have it? That's cool.
The taped version, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's porn on this. I don't think I ever taped porn, but maybe.
Crossing fingers. But at the very end, Sandman's like, I need a beer. Can someone get me a beer? And Austin's music, glass shatter. And then the power went out.
It was fucking creepy. I do remember that, yeah.
And we never got to see the end of it.
No, I think we had to watch the replay on Raw or something, or I think you had to go home.
I did. I had to work the next day.
Mm-hmm. And I got to I stayed up and watched the replay, and got to see because in the pay-per-views they would always show them twice. You could watch them in a back-to-back setting, which. Interestingly enough, you just reminded me of this. How about this storm story that's tied to wrestling? It's 2001. WWF Invasion. I'm at my dude Bill Hanner's house, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like me, Bill Hanner, this girl Holly, Cole Strauser, a bunch of people, right? And we're jazzed. And I'm going to stay the night there. And the first thing that happens is Bill's mom gives me an apple and a knife. I cut right into my fucking thumb. I mean, I gashed myself, dude. She's like, I told you it was sharp. I was like, yeah, it's pretty sharp. It just gashed me open, you know? So I get all bandaged up or whatever, and then the event starts, and I can't recall. I think it was fine until the last match. And I think the Team WCW or the Alliance versus WWF, when that match started, as soon as it started, tornado sirens hit. And I remember specifically the flagpole at Bill's house, this fucking steel flagpole that his dad had put 12 feet of concrete into the fucking ground, bent in half. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, we're gonna die. Like, this is bad. And it was intense. And actually, I'm pretty sure that like Wellington almost got hit by the tornado that had come through it, like went right in front of his house and right between there and Wellington, dude, and just missed Hoopston as well. And it was like absolutely crazy. We stayed up, and because we didn't want to rewatch all the shit we had already watched, but we wanted to watch the last match, we had to occupy our time for a couple hours. So we went into his barn and wrestled on the trampoline, okay? And mind you, it's raining still, so we're wet on a trampoline. Put that together. Dude, Cole Strasser in the barn. We're up there, and Cold goes to do a jump, and his foot slips, and he fucking kicks 3 springs out of the fucking trampoline, and like his foot goes through it into the fucking ground. I was never a big fan of that guy, so it was actually really funny to me, but you know, he wasn't hurt or nothing. It was just like, oh shit, we should probably not do this because it's dangerous at that moment, you know?
Yeah, you mentioned WrestleMania 22. I actually do remember that. We didn't watch that together. I was actually at my house watching that with Rob. It was the first pay-per-view I bought through WWE.com.
Oh.
And it was weird and awful. Very awful quality. To watch it live, it was pretty bad. But when you bought it, you got it for 24 hours. So like, the power went out and we weren't able to finish before we had to separate and, you know, go to bed for work the next day. But when I got home, I finished it. I remember we like went all the way to Hoopston to like Dollar General and picked up like Tostitos and like Chalsa, and specifically, I remember this because I get a craving for this once every like 15 years. RC Cola.
The most sugary cola of colas.
Other than Jolt Cola. Jolt Cola is by far is the only cola that I feel like has ever got me high. If that's even possible. It is so weird. I have had one real Jolt Cola in my life. It was not long after we moved over here to Indiana, and I remember we went to Big Lots and bought a fan and a Jolt Cola, maybe a few other things. But I'm putting together this fan, and I'm all hopped up on this shit, dude. I am like, and I'm like,
where's the screw go? Does it go here? Does it go there? Where'd it go? Do I have the screwdriver? What about that? I don't know about that. Do you have that pen?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't find it. Where's the box? I'm not fucking sure. Where are the instructions? I can't find them.
You can almost feel the sugar in this drink. It's so sugary. I can't explain to you in any real sort of fashion just how I was bouncing off the damn walls. And
Yeah.
I remember tackling my girlfriend, now my wife, to the bed, staring deeply into her eyes and telling her that I was her Salisbury steak sauce.
Boing. That's some sultry conversation in the bedroom.
And trust me, it ruined the mood.
Oh, that's funny.
Because at that point, there's nothing but like hysterics.
Oh, yeah. Laughter. Just total, oh, shit, why did I say that? But also, that was the funniest shit you could have ever said.
Yeah. Man, I don't think I have any more storm stories either. Riding with Jason. Okay, so I alluded to it at the very beginning. Riding with Jason. I don't know how often you rode with Jason without me.
A handful of times. One time specifically I can remember because we wrecked.
Yes.
Yeah. Because he
Yeah.
didn't hear me say, not yet, and he just turned into traffic. Okay, I guess.
Oh, I remember that. Where was that at? Is that
We were
down
in Champaign. We were
Champaign.
right by C.V. Lloyd's.
Yep.
And we were driving down the street that's like one of the streets that C.V. Lloyd's on, not the main street, but the side street there. And it's a one-way, and he was going to get into the left lane, and he threw his signal on and just turned and changed lanes without looking. As I was like, no, don't do that, crunch. Old couple hit his car in the driver's side door. The blue, not the Blue Baron, that was Tony's car, but that blue car that Jason had, that light blue ride. Yeah, man, I remember freaking out. Like I don't think I ever told my dad that even happened. I was so like, oh shit, we're in so much trouble, you know?
All right, so in that blue car, riding down an old country slab. Okay, not even a real road here. And it was very typical for him to drive excessively over the speed limit. In the country, especially.
Had a little bit of a lead foot.
I would say like one of those anvils is probably more appropriate for describing his foot, because he's going over 100 miles per hour. And he's blaring Slipknot or whatever. It was something very loud. He had that sound system in the car, and I was getting a back massage. I remember, I can't remember their names. There was a guy in the passenger seat, and then his sister right behind him, and then I'm behind Jason. And it was so weird because he's driving this fast for so long, and the music is so loud that eventually I just start zoning out. Yeah. I'm no longer, in fear of my life. I'm no longer like, yeah, music. I'm just like staring into space out the window, and I happen to look up just in time. There was a group of birds in the road, and one of them hits the windshield.
Oh, shit.
And this other fellow in the passenger seat reacted like, oh my God, we're going to... And... Look, it happened so fast. It was the only time that I can recall that we actually slowed down to a stop because we were laughing so hard. And he couldn't keep driving that tears were coming out of his eyes. Different country road, different vehicle. This one was in the Astro van.
Oh, I remember that vehicle. That got taken out by a crane, I think.
Did it?
Remember, he had a giant crane on the way to school, like a bird, not an actual thing.
Oh. Okay. Yes, I do remember.
Because just like now, I thought what you thought, that he had a fucking crane. And I was like, what the fuck? How did he survive? It's a bird, not machinery.
I'm like, I don't remember that. Oh, wait, yes, the bird. Yes, all right. So we were on the back road between Hoopston and Rankin. And right before you get into Rankin, there's that viaduct where the train tracks. And on the back road, like, it doesn't just go straight through. The road kind of goes in, jogs through, like almost a little, like a whoop, whoop, like a little curve. And he's going 100 miles per hour. And I'm just like, you gonna slow down? He goes, watch this. I'm like, I'm dead. Oh no, this is how we go. And this van got airborne.
Holy shit.
Because as soon as we get there, he jerks the wheel, and it goes, and then we bottom the van out. Thunk, thunk. Like, to the left, to the right. And you're bound, like, I about flew out of the seat. And he's like, yeah, buddy.
Of course.
Oh, I'm like, I don't do that again. I'm telling you right now. He goes, what? And I'm like, no, not with me. No. And it was kind of awkward then for the rest of the way home. I think he was like, one, felt bad, and two, was mad that I got mad at him. But I'm just like, no.
That's a feeling of out of control that you seldom feel.
I know.
Because honestly, man, let me tell you, that's why no one, like, for the most part, no one drives me anywhere. I drive me. Because I don't want anybody to have my life in their hands. I trust my life in my hand. You know, like, it's not even personal. But it's just like, you know, hopefully my, you know, track record stays solid or whatever. But I've seen stupid shit happen, man. And I don't want it to happen to somebody I care about or, you know, whatever.
Yeah, no, I don't like driving other people. That actually gives me additional anxiety. When I'm thinking about driving, and you know, whether it's something little, my fault, not my fault, you know, it's just, especially if I don't know where I'm going,
Yeah,
you know, then I'm really trusting the other person to kind of help me, be my fucking guide, be the dude that's going to help me through this, you know. Like when we go up into Chicago, dude, it's like if you're with me, it's like you know where to go, guide me, because I don't know.
Yeah, I have a pretty good sense in that city. I've had to cut my teeth up in that there city.
Yeah, not my favorite place to go to. I mean, other than like, it is a good place. I do enjoy a visit. I don't enjoy the way.
Totally understand.
I don't enjoy the traffic whatsoever. It gets to the point where it's like, Indy traffic is nothing to me anymore.
Correct.
And I would assume that like the same would be for like somebody who has to deal with Chicago traffic on a more regular basis.
Chicago traffic is just asshole drivers. The end. I mean, everybody feels entitled to drive 1,000 fucking miles a second, dude, and it gets scary. I just drive 55 and stay the fuck away from everyone when I'm on my way to the city. Like, I don't give a fuck. Call me an old man, call me a grandpa, whatever. You see these fucking people, woof, 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 and they're doing like 110 miles an hour on a 55, diving in and out of traffic, and I'm like, yeah, and one of you makes a fucking single mistake, and there are so many people's lives at risk. You guys are fucking dumb, you know?
Yeah, all right. So, coming home one day from work, I'm off the interstate. I'm on that road that leads to town. I believe you remember it. There's a big water tower outside of town. There's that road there.
Yeah.
Where there's an intersection, and in the afternoon that intersection is a little bit busy, especially during the school time, because there's a school right down that road, across like where you would see nothing but fields. You go down there a little ways, and there's a school out there. So I'm driving home one day. You know that speed limit's 55 there. I pretty much drive the speed limit pretty much like everywhere I pretty much go. I'm kind of like you. I'm just an old man. I really don't feel the need to be in any hurry. And you know there's a SUV here, you know, and I'm coming this way, barreling through at my whopping 55. But still, I mean, you wreck at 55, it's still a wreck. And she starts going, and I'm like,
it's gonna fucking suck. Yeah.
I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. And instantly, my gut reaction is to never hit the horn. It's to hold the fuck on and try to drive. So I literally, she's inching out and she's going, man. And I literally just like pull my car. I almost off-road my car, but thankfully there's a little lip there where the road widens for that intersection. And I'm like, and I go around her enough to look over as I'm like, crap. And I see the look in her eyes, and I get that instant of, oh fuck. There's a truck right behind me too, and I'm like,
oh shit.
We were all in trouble. Thankfully, as soon as she saw that, she slammed on her brakes and stopped. She wasn't going fast. She was inching out like she's gonna cross. She just
kind of probably was mindless and started to go.
She wasn't paying attention to what was coming on the right, and that's this is a 4-lane highway. That's your only direction. That's it. There's nothing over here. You're already past that. Now you need to be like, or is anything come? And I don't know if someone else was in the car with her. I think there was kind of distracting her maybe, but she saw me and probably life flashed before her eyes just like me. And I looked behind me and that truck, who was right on my ass, he must have slowed the fuck down. Because then when I looked, because I didn't slow down at all.
Yeah.
Like I pretty much like. I NASCAR'd my way around that and kept going, and I'm like, oh,
butthole tightened. Whoa,
yo, tight is like there is no butt whistling going on here, man. That thing is puckered,
sealed shut,
dude. Preparation H, straight up.
That story makes me think of a story from that. It's a near death as well, kinda. Yeah. So I had my driver's permit. I'm 15. It's the first time Dad's gonna have me drive us to Danville. Okay, get some good experience. You got to have that 25 hours. That's like a good 50-minute trip. If you kind of bullshit around a little bit, it's about an hour, and that's one less hour you got to fucking use to get your license. So we are on headed south, Route 1. And we are just before, that like cemetery that sits off to the side, I think it's like Manchapel Road or whatever. There's the fucking thing. So there used to be train tracks. Right before where there used to be train tracks, we're driving. I'm in the Dad's old Thunderbird, okay? Nate, 15. In the old Thunderbird. I'm terrified. Dad's over here. He's having a smoke, and he's fucking yelling at everything that's happening. Use your fucking turn signal. Do this. Fucking don't look at me when I'm yelling at you. Fucking just look for shit like that. And I'm like, God damn it, this is the worst. I see in front of me that there is a semi passing a car. And there's no way they're getting around that car before he hits us head on. And I had to throw the car into the ditch. Dad and I woof down into the ditch, and he was, you dumb motherfucking cocksucker, freaking out on this truck driver because he literally could have killed us. Yeah. And let me tell you, 15-year-old me handled it pretty fucking good, I think, because we're still here.
Yeah.
And that was, like I said, maybe my like third or fourth hour of actually driving, for the permit. So, holy fuck. That kind of set the pace for how I drive now and how attentive I am to everything. I try not to be mindless. I try not to be spaced out. Another thing that I'm always mindful of, and I also recommend other people be like this, but like, don't leave your house angry or don't leave your house with a lot of emotion when you get into a vehicle, because you will space out. You will not be thinking straight. There is a bigger chance for accidents and for things to go wrong and for you to just space it, whatever. Try to, just, at least for me, it's always about like, okay, I'm going to go on this travel and I have to have the best energy in the world around me right now to successfully do this travel. The end. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. But like, I gotta ask, did you think for a second that your dad was calling you a dumb son of a bitch?
No, not at all. Because he was looking at the driver with both his middle fingers up and like spitting all over the goddamn fucking car in anger, and you've seen him in rage mode. You know what that's like, so.
That's why I'm laughing so hard.
It was turned up to 11.
Picturing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in the glory days of us in high school, like he was a fiery one,
Mm-hmm.
But no, man, I'm grateful to be alive after that one. I can counter, and I have a different funny story to tell you, less life-threatening, and it ties back into our conversation before we actually started the podcast. You had said that there are white women right now in the world trying to figure out how to make a pumpkin spice White Claw. And when you said that, it like triggered my brain meats to go, oh, Oh, I have a story about seltzer water because we were talking about like hard seltzer. That doesn't make any fucking sense. This is before the show, by the way, for you folks. Like, they didn't talk about this earlier. What the fuck? Yeah, it was before we recorded. Sorry. So, we don't know what the fuck seltzer water is or what that's about. So, I remember when I was delivering furniture with Nash back in 2010-ish. Went to this really fancy dude's house. He had like 30,000 some records on vinyl, like an amazing collection, like something you've never seen, you know? And it was like walking into his room, into his house was like a library. We had to deliver this sofa and this chair, and they're both pretty fucking heavy because they're reclining, so they weigh a lot. We get them in, it's a tight squeeze. They look really nice in there. And the guy's like, hey, do you guys want a water? And we were like, sure. And he was like, regular or sparkling? I thought sparkling just meant like it was going to be like a little bit carbonated, but sparkling was seltzer water. I didn't know that. So he gives it to us. Nash took the normal one. For some reason, I said the fucking sparkling because I don't know what I'm doing. You know, long, hard day of work. We get in the truck, and I take like 2 sips of this thing. And I look at Nash, and I stop for a second. I put the water down, and I taste in my mouth, and my heart starts beating really fucking fast because I've just realized I've been poisoned. And I have a fucking panic attack, dude. Because I'm like, something's wrong. Something doesn't taste right. I feel weird. Something's off. Like, am I sweating? I feel like I'm super sweaty. Am I sweating? And Nash is like, yeah, you are kind of sweaty. And, of course, we just delivered this heavy fucking furniture. Of course I'm sweating. Duh. You know? So I'm panicking. And I'm like, oh, my God. Dude, that dude just fucking poisoned me. I'm going to fucking die. I'm serious. I'm going to die. That guy I don't know why he decided to poison me, but I'm a victim. I'm going to die, dude. And then I was fine. There was nothing. You know? It was just sparkling water. I was just freaked out because I'd never had it before. I didn't know the taste. It wasn't what I was expecting at all, you know? And again, I'm still here.
Wow. All right. So this story isn't actually mine. It is my wife's story. And this happened, 4 years ago, over 4 years ago. She was pregnant with our first kid. She was on the way home on 52, which, if anybody knows, it's a 4-lane highway, right? 2 lanes going one way north, 2 lanes going another way south. And I was on second shift at the time, and I had just gone to break at 6:30, and I always texted her, you know, and still do. Like every break, I say, "Hey, what's up?" just to see, you know, how she's doing. And just so happened, she was sitting at this little rest stop. It's not like a real rest stop. It's like a building where somebody has set up vending machines for people to go in and, you know, buy some candy or whatever. And she was sitting there trying to calm the fuck down because she just about died. And she was on her way home from town. And of course, it's about 6. You know, this had just happened, and there was somebody I believe the way that she says it, she was either here, there was a car here, and she was trying to pass somebody because there was a car that came barreling across the median,
shit.
And it went thunk down into the ditch and right in front of them. And she slammed, and the way that it happened is that she I don't know if she slammed on her brakes or if she sped up to, you know, because it was almost hit her direct on. Wham! And then the other car slammed on his brakes, and it just went right in between their cars.
Damn, bro.
And thankfully no one was hurt. But somebody else saw it. She immediately then got to a stop and was like, I almost died, oh my God. And that other person who was beside them, they stopped, went over and asked if she was okay.
Yeah, they just saw the whole fucking thing unfold. Holy shit.
Yeah. You know, they just saw him pass right by him too. And it was luckily no one was hurt. And then she had, when she was sitting there trying to calm down still, the police had just got there. and asked her what had happened, and kind of took her statement. They didn't talk to her for very long because they had already talked to the other driver, and then they had went to the driver who actually had wrecked, because he continued off the road and into like some trees or whatever.
Shit.
So they just went up to her and asked if she was okay. Are you going to be okay? Is everything fine? Like what happened? Pretty much just getting her side real quick. From what she said, they didn't talk to her long. But thankfully, we've only ever been in. I've only ever been in one accident my entire life. Of course, you were telling me about the accident with Jason, and I completely have forgotten about that.
Yeah.
But we got hit on the way home, or on the way to go get my kid. We went to a movie, and we got rear-ended.
I remember that. It was just like 2 years ago.
Yeah, and then later on that year, she got hit in her car. Some old lady ran a red light. Jesus. And my wife, it was in a turn lane. She had the green arrow, and she's like, I ain't moving. She's gonna run that light, and she did. And when she ran that light, she hit a city truck to the city of Lafayette. Boom, and then they both barreled into my wife.
Jesus criminally.
Thankfully, it hit the fender. Wyatt was in the car, but he had no idea what happened.
Yeah.
He was just like, "What's?" Of course, Kate's like, "Oh my God, I'm almost dead again." When
Totally.
Wyatt's like, "What happened, Mama?"
Yeah,
we're okay. And of course, my wife is in hysterics and everything, but
accidents are fucking traumatizing, bro. Any way you slice it.
I remember on the way home, not too long ago. In fact, this same thing has happened to me twice in my entire life. Me and Rob, I think, were on the way to work when we worked at the window factory, and we were coming around a curve, and just in the middle of the road, there's an SUV on its top, just laying there.
Jesus.
Like right in the middle of the road. Thankfully, the sun was halfway up. It was like in Illinois, of course, it's like sun's coming up they're an hour behind. So sunrise here, it's 6. Over there, it's 5 something. So it was 5:30. I'm like,
Jesus.
I see it. We really slow down, and there's somebody had stopped to help, and I'm like, we gotta go to work.
Yeah, can't slow down if you're on your way to the job, because place isn't gonna give a fuck.
No. Oh, that reminds me. I got another traffic near death, or at least, all right. Oh man, that was loud.
Sorry, pop bottle down.
Pop bottle down. So we were on the way home from that same job. This was in the wintertime, and it was a very bad blizzard that day. And we thought we were going to get let out early, but that did not happen. In fact, we worked quite some time. I think it might have been until 4 or something like that. Anyways, we finally get out, and man, the roads are atrocious. I'm in my old Chevy Corsica, the old red car.
Hell yeah, man.
So I'm in that, and we are driving relatively, probably 30 on the highway, and there's a semi. And he's going relatively fast, He's got some momentum. And I just the force of him knocked my back wheel off the road, and we almost went right into the ditch. But I turned it around, and we were going this way, and then we were going this way, and then we were going this way, and there was another semi coming. I was in that lane, I'm fishtailing all across the road.
Holy shit.
Because of the wind force of this one semi that is whoomph. And finally I get it. I that semi slowed down, thankfully. And I got it under control. And there was somebody on my ass then. I don't know what it is about people riding my ass in these stories. But
must have a nice ass.
Maybe. But man, they were all right, stand back here.
Run away.
I remember like that. That ride to work was a long one. It usually took, roundabouts like 40 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Well, like this took even longer. It was like an hour and a half to get home. It was like it doubled that length.
Oh,
and I remember we finally got home, and those long drives. Have you ever driven over a bridge in a whiteout?
Yeah, one time. Terrifying as fuck. Mm-hmm. Again, clench your butthole, because... Oh!
Here I am in the old Ford Probe without windshield wipers.
Oh, my God.
My wipers broke one winter because, like, I accidentally turned them on, and they pushed a big block of ice off my windshield. Ugh. And then stopped, and then just stayed there. And I couldn't get them to work.
They gave up after that. That was enough. They exerted all their life force.
That was it, dude. They were all done. And I remember, like, during those whiteouts, like, I would, like, let the car heat up, like, and let it get up real hot and turn on the, like the defroster and get that windshield like really warm. That way, if any snow that got on it instantly melted.
Melt, yeah.
But like the semis don't give a fuck on the interstate, and they're going past you like you're at a standstill. And when they go by you, they blow all the snow that's on the road in your direction. And it was already white out, and I had one of those moments on the bridge. I was like, I'm just going to keep going this way. I'm not moving my hands. I'm staying so still because I know this is a straight bridge.
Oh, God.
And, like, I got across it and didn't even, the only reason why I knew that I was across it is because the wind had let up just long enough for me to see trees. I had no idea that I was even past the bridge.
Wow, dude. That's terrifying, too, because you're on that just like, oh, my God, hope I don't fucking blow off.
And, of course, the Probe is front-wheel drive. Not the best in snow.
The worst, actually, in snow.
Oh, dude. I have Subarus now, and they are amazing in the snow. You forget you're driving in snow, which means that you are actually at more risk to be in an accident because you're just like, I don't give a fuck. But you still got to drive like you're in snow.
You got to give a fuck.
You have to give a fuck. Because if you do not give said fucks, you will get in said accidents. Because you're just going to be like rolling through, all of a sudden you're like, I can't stop.
So, you've been talking about these accidents. We've been talking about near death. Have you ever seen another person have a real bad time in a vehicle? Like, you were talking about the guy flipped upside down, but, like, have you actually witnessed a vehicle crash that did not involve you?
Maybe, but it's not coming. Like I said, I had that one where the dude was just upside down, and I think I've just come up on him right after they happen.
So, you'll remember this again. I had to drive an hour to work when I worked at Carter's and an hour home every day. This is in the band days still.
Yeah.
So, it was winter 2010 for sure. It was, or no, it actually was, it was probably 2010. It was right before I quit. This was probably one of the final deciding factors of like, enough. I can't do it like this anymore. So I'm driving in the F-150, Dad's big truck, big old tank motherfucker, with weight in it. And even though there's weight, there's terrible blizzards. My piece of shit boss, who happens to also be my uncle, has demanded that we work. Can't not go in today or you'll get in trouble. So I'm fucking okay. Got to get up at fucking 6:15. I'm on 74. I successfully get off 49, which was what I was actually more terrified of. I get on to 74, and I'm driving, and there's a semi in front of me, and I watch the semi get fishy. And it's starting to get a little fishy, and I'm like, oh, this is bad. And it slows down, and it kind of gets itself, and then I get fishy, and I'm like, oh, this is really fucking bad. There's black ice under us. That's what's happening. The whole road is black ice. All of 74 is black ice. I look in my rear view mirror. I see a 2001 pinkish red fucking Mustang. Wah! Flying down 74, bro. He gets just in front of the semi, hits black ice. I swear to God. Okay, let me see if I can show you this. So the semi is going this way, like towards the camera, like it's going west. This guy gets right in front of it. He spins out. He almost gets hit by the semi. I mean, inches. His tailback bumper misses this semi. He goes into the fucking ditch, rolls 2 times to the left, 2 times to the right, barrel rolls once, and ends up on his fucking tires. Unreal. I drove through it. I didn't even stop, dude. I was just like, holy shit, I'm fucking alive. That's all that matters. Like, that guy was a fucking idiot. C'est la vie. He got kind of what he deserved a little bit. At least he got a wake-up call. He shouldn't drive like a jackass in the snow. That's your public service announcement from old Nate.
From old Nate.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, like, what kind of brought this on? Near-death experiences. It was kind of like near-death / like really like aura experiences. It's like really weird. Like, because recently you played somewhere where Dimebag Darrell, you played the same venue where he was shot and killed.
I mean, not only did I play the same venue, Brando, I stood on the stage where his body laid. I was in the green room, which was one of the last places he was. Like, that dude's energy and Vinny's energy is in those walls. It's like Sun Studio all over again. Like, you remember when I told that story forever and again, it chokes me up to talk about it. But going there was terrifying, honestly. I'm not even going to pretend. Going to the venue where my hero was shot and killed when we were kids, when we were, like, talking about these memories of driving with Jason. This is all in the same time frame, 2004, you know? And I remember that day, we were at school, just gotten into school early in the morning. I think it was you or Jason had run up to me and said, did you hear? There was somebody got shot, and I remember the next words out of your mouth were, I hope it wasn't Dime. And I said the same thing. I was like, oh, fuck. And then, of course, as the news rolled out, it was Dimebag Darrell. He was shot and killed by this fucking crazy shooter or whatever. So, got booked at the Alrosa Villa to play with Max Sabbath, O'Killy Dokley, Playboy Man Baby. Get there, and I'm on the stage. I don't think I've told you this story yet, have I?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I'm on the stage. I'm setting up my drums because we're the first band on. O'Killy Dokley had canceled, so the set kind of got bumped a little bit around a little bit. It was actually awesome. So I'm setting up my drums, and the guitar player for Playboy Man Baby walks by, and I'm like, man, I just get fucking spooky vibes in this place, dude. And he goes, yeah, me too, huh? And it doesn't hit him. And I was like, do you not know what happened here? Like, do you really don't know, do you? And he's like, no, man, what's up? And I was like, right here, and I walked right where Dime fucking was, and I was like, Dimebag Darrell got shot and killed right there. And no more did I fucking say this, man. This dude named Brian comes out of the green room, and he's like, I was with him when he died. I was the bodyguard. He was one of the security guards that's a part of the Alrosa Villa, still works there to this day. And he goes, let me show you something crazy. And he pulls out his phone, and he goes, and he's swiping, he's swiping, he's swiping, he's swiping. He hits this button on his Facebook, finds this picture, and it's him with Dimebag Darrell 10 minutes before Dime got killed. It's the last picture of Dime, dude. It was fucking crazy. So this dude, then he knows that I know my shit and I know the history of this place. And so we're bonding in that way. He's talking and he's like, hey, I just want you to know Dime protects this place. I don't say that emptily. I'm saying that because I know that guy's spirit and he's here and he protects this place. Like, don't worry. Nothing's going to happen to anybody. You're fine, you know? So we're like set up. We're off stage. This is relevant to, again, the history of you and I and like the OGs bringing it all back and whatnot. So I'm sitting there and they're playing just fucking rocking music, one after another. Bark at the Moon, all these fucking, what's that song? The fucking Twisted Sister song. I can't think of it.
We're not going to take it. I want to rock.
Yeah. And listening to all these things, and then all of a sudden there's an ad for a band playing, and I thought it was real at first, and I was like, oh, these guys sound pretty cool. What's their name? And then they said Love Fist, and I was like, wait a fucking minute. I know what this is from, and then I start listening closely, and they had actually taken the actual Laszlo whole entire radio thing, and that was their playlist before the show. So it was with all the fake calls, I'm naked, Laszlo, naked, like all that was just being fed into me, dude. It was like without you actually being there, in some way you were there with me to experience that. It was the fucking weirdest thing. I even messaged you right when it was happening because it took me back. Like V and Sarah, they totally didn't understand why it got me, but it was just like, whoa, you know.
Yeah, I was hanging with Mike and Tyler, and we were just chilling out, waiting for the. I think we had just got done eating. Maybe so. Maybe we got done eating. Yeah, I was pretty buzzed that night.
Hey-o.
So like, if I didn't get back to you like right away with I was like, I had quite a few beers, which isn't typical for me. Like, I'm not a drinker, like at all. I don't drink. Other than a very rare occasion, but like I was hanging out with my buds. I was getting a chance to unwind, and yeah, I put some beers away. I don't remember how many I had, but it wasn't enough to where I was drunk. I wasn't like wasted. I kept a good buzz on, and then quit drinking. And I ate. I had my last beer with dinner. We used a sous vide to cook some steaks, and
Ooh,
I've never used a sous vide before. And what we did is that we also made baked potatoes, and we put those on the grill.
ooh,
And we put them on. We got the good we got the temperature going. We cooked those for like an hour, and then we took the steaks out, and the steaks were already done. They were like kind of like a medium rare. And what the sous vide does is that you're basically cooking it in water. You put the steak in a plastic bag and you cook it in water at like a certain temperature for like 24 hours.
interesting.
And it is you season it with whatever you want, but then like he just put like pretty simple salt and pepper, and then I added Chicago steak seasoning from Weber. It's my favorite steak seasoning of all time.
Hell yeah.
It's also really good on burgers, too. But we did that, threw them on top of the coals to get a sear.
Hell
Cooked
yeah.
them for about, I would say, probably a total of at least 5 minutes for both sides. Like 2.5, got a good sear, took it off. Because the meat, it was just enough to where we got some color and got some flavor on some sear. But then the meat was so tender, like you didn't need a fork or like a knife. You could just use your fork, and it was
hell yeah.
It was like falling apart, tender, so tasty, and I mean, and those potatoes, man, they had like a good smoke flavor. I think he might have he didn't throw any wood chips in, but it was just that smoke flavor from the charcoal and imparted flavor into that. And then he made 4 boxes of shells and cheese and put all that cheese. And I remember Tyler saying, it's starting to scare me how much cheese you're putting into that.
Holy shit. Giant
hey.
amounts of cheese.
Hi, buddy. Hold on. Don't go grabbing.
Oh.
This mic is pretty sensitive.
Oh, yeah. We got a visitor on the OG's podcast.
Wyatt.
Hi, Wyatt.
Hi, too.
Hi, too. How are you, kid?
Nothing. I was just making somebody new. If I knew.
Really?
What are you doing?
Yeah, I do.
What are you doing?
I play Summer Spacing video games.
You're playing video games?
I play video games all the time.
All the time?
Mm-hmm.
What games do you play?
I play Mario.
Do you play
That's
Sight
amazing.
Bike? Do you play a Sight Bike?
I play Excite Bike.
I like Excite Bike, too. Ollie likes Excite
play
Bike as
Punch-Out?
well.
Excite Bike? That's a great idea. What likes?
I think so.
What other games do you play?
I play Mario and Excite Bike, and that is games. It says Mario.
Yeah, so just Mario. Do you play wrestling games sometimes?
I play wrestling games sometimes.
Who's your favorite
Who do you
wrestler?
play as? Who's your favorite wrestler?
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh yeah, the Macho Man Randy Savage.
What does Macho Man say? What does Macho Man say?
Ooh, yeah.
And okay, so who else do you play as? Do you play as Macho Man and who?
Ric Flair.
Woo! And who else?
John Cena.
You can't see me. You can't see me.
And who else?
And
Sting?
And Sting.
Oh, I love Sting.
I love Sting too.
He seems to know Sting's ring stats.
Ring sucks. Sad.
Hey! Don't be touching the microphone. This is very sensitive. It's not like the other one. You got to keep your hands to yourself.
I also guys.
You have lots of guys, huh?
Yeah.
Do you win at the wrestling game,
I win at the wrestling game.
or do they beat you up?
They beat me up.
Do they beat you up sometimes?
Yeah, they beat me up sometimes.
That's
but
unfortunate.
I still win.
Well, that's good. That's called perseverance.
I guess Bev said is. That is Dragon Ball.
It is Dragon Ball.
Awesome.
I love Dragon Ball with you.
Me too. Who's your favorite Dragon Ball character? I like Goku.
And I like Gohan.
Really? Do you have a cat named Gohan?
Yeah, I have 3. Just Gohan 1, Sawas 2, and Luna 3.
Awesome.
Or cat says. Yeah. Luna's black and white with Silas, and Gohan's orange and white.
I see him. He's actually behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Does he try to get into the game room?
But, yeah.
And what do we say to him when he tries to get in the game room? What do we say to Gohan?
We said, "Get out of here!"
Yeah, exactly. You gotta tell that kid to get out of here.
Yeah, do you do the podcast all the time?
Yeah, we do the
Yeah,
podcast all the time.
Yeah, and you go to sleep when it's night?
I do. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I stay up late.
When
though.
I want sleep, when it's one sleep, I get to do school.
Yeah. You're starting school now?
Not yet. I have one more sleep yet.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, that's awesome. But next year you're going to be doing kindergarten, huh? That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy, too.
You're ridiculous.
Yeah, that's Mario.
Yeah, it is Mario, isn't it?
I love Mario with you.
Yeah. Do I have a lot of cool stuff in my game room?
Daddy has a lot of cool stuff in his game room.
Yes, he does. Uncle Nate's super jealous, all that.
Who's that up there?
That is Avengers.
Heck yeah.
Who's that?
And that's Spider-Man.
Who's that?
Batman.
And who's that over there?
That is wrestling.
No.
That is nothing.
No, it's nothing. Do you remember Iced Earth?
It's Ice Earth.
Heck yeah.
And what do you do for Iced Earth?
I play my guitar.
Play your guitar? And you metal.
In my middle.
Metal.
That's funny.
Yeah, it is. You're funny, kid.
Yeah. Do you have stuff in your game room too? Do you have a lot of stuff in your game room too?
I actually have a comic book room, not a game room,
He's got comic books.
that I
Do
read.
you have... Do you read in your game room?
Yes, I do.
Reading.
And you don't play in your game room? Do you don't have a TV?
You know what? I did have a TV, but it just burned out. It just died.
It broke.
Did it broke?
Yeah,
That happened to me too.
that's unfortunate.
Are you full of beans?
Yeah. I'm full of beans. Whoa.
Are you getting ready to go night-night?
Oh, yeah, I'm getting ready to go night-night. What do I go in because... So I see. The podcast is good. Those are your video games. And those are the 2 podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Heck yeah, dude. Are you going to start a podcast with your dad?
Yeah, with old Mike and old Nate.
Yeah.
I love you.
Aw. I love you too, buddy. You're the best. You get a good rest, okay?
Okay, I'll get a good rest.
You gonna get down?
You.
Love you too, kiddo.
I love you too, bub. Hold on, be careful. Your legs wrapped around the cord. Okay, never mind. Here, come here. Give me love. Give me a hug.
Oh,
Thanks for coming on the podcast.
thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Say bye.
Bye.
Hey, that was a very fun, different conversation.
Yeah, right?
Whoa, he's so like he has so much vocabulary. That was crazy.
Oh yeah, no, his vocabulary impresses pretty much everybody. It's really like off the chart. Well, more so for this, I was more impressed that he didn't start going into gibberish, because he still does some gibberish, especially when he gets super excited.
Yeah,
and he just doesn't know what to say. He's just like,
his energy just takes over. Yeah,
exactly. But no, he told me on Sunday when I was gonna come back here and do Game Addicts. He goes, "Daddy, you and old Mike need to do your podcast on the moon."
Whoa!
I'm like,
first
that's pretty crazy.
First podcast on the moon.
I was like, I was just on the moon in Mass Effect the other day. He goes, "You did your podcast on the moon?" I said, "No, I wasn't." He goes, "Did you go to the moon yesterday?" I said, "I didn't really go to the moon." I was like, we cannot just go to the moon. I'm not trying to get any like false delusions in his head that he can be like, "I'm going to the moon today."
Maybe in his lifetime he can, man.
That would be crazy. The Space Command is getting ready to start up, I guess.
Space Force.
Space Force, yeah.
Oh, that's the dumbest shit.
You know what? In a way, it is, but in another way, it's like, you know what? Maybe this is the future. I hear a mower.
Is the old lady out mowing? He's going to check, folks. I'm going to do a reconnaissance mission and talk until he comes back. The door has been opened. Brando is rushing outside. He's listening in intently. He's taking a step fully out the door. I, too, can hear the mower. He's laughing. He's smiling. The door is now shutting. He's coming back to the chair. He's turning it. He is almost not sitting
almost
down.
falling over.
And he's putting the headphones back on, and you're back.
No. It wasn't her. It was behind us. But it did rain earlier, like pretty hard. So this dude back there is like, "I gotta get it done, man." And dude, I am so lazy when it comes to my yard due to the fact that I have that giant hill. I'm like, not killing myself today.
Yeah,
no sir.
If you don't need to go die for that hill, don't go die for that hill.
Oh man, every time I go to go down the hill now, I almost go at it like a run. I'm running down a hill with my push mower.
That's not safe.
It isn't. I have actually slipped.
Oh, Jesus.
Let go.
Yeah. Let go should be the first step.
Well, your gut instinct when you fall is to like clench.
Yeah.
So it's like I clenched onto that thing. And I'm like, my leg could have went underneath this thing, and it would have been chop city.
Oh yeah, that actually happened to somebody here in Hoopston. They were riding their riding mower.
I think you're right.
And I don't know if it was a little kid or if it was a younger adult, but the mower fell on top of them and fucked their leg up real bad. I remember that because it was like right down the street from my house. Crazy.
Yeah. Dang it, I was gonna say something, and then my brain totally wigged out on me. Oh,
we were talking about mowing and you sliding down the hill. If that jogs your memory.
Talking about mowing. Oh no! Okay, no. So here's a random story. This is not This is just random ass story. It has nothing to do with anything that we were talking about today.
Sure.
Last night, we're sitting and eating dinner, and we had country fried steak. By the way,
delish.
Yeah, had some mashed potatoes and some homemade gravy. Making that gravy with some bacon fat.
Oh
yeah,
my!
It's where it's at, man.
Speaking my language.
Trust me. So, I'm diving into this country fried steak. It's been a long day. Oh yeah, I get a phone call, and it's a 217 number.
Weird.
I'm like, okay. Anybody that's a 217, I have. Like, okay, who's calling me? And I answer, and it's this random lady from Bismarck. One of her neighbors moved in. She lives in a trailer park in Bismarck. And one of the neighbors who moved into a trailer that she lived in like 10 years ago moved in there and found a flip phone in a vent.
Oh, shit. Burner phone, burner phone, burner phone.
Right. But this phone has my number in it. And numbers of people I know, like my family.
What?
And the reason why she called, she's trying to get a hold of somebody, is that there are pictures on this phone of like older people, and she's like, "Wow, man, this is like the last picture was dated from 2013." So she's like, maybe like some of these people might have passed on, and whoever's phone them was might want these pictures.
Damn.
Which is really nice and thoughtful, but also like she goes, "I'm really sorry that this is really random." She's like, "I don't want you to think that I'm crazy or anything like that, but I'm just trying to figure it out." And she's describing stuff and names and everything. I'm like, that sounds like people in my family. And yeah, she sent me like the pictures that were on the phone. Okay. She's like, "Do you want me to send you like the phone, or if I send me an address to send it?" One of the pictures is a picture of my dad from when he was in high school.
Whoa, that's fucking weird, bro.
Like, and it was like a picture taken of a picture, right? From like this person's phone. A picture of pancake syrup. A picture of a cat.
Okay.
A picture of my uncle. And some dude I don't know with a Cubs hat.
Probably his phone.
A picture. No, apparently this is my uncle's phone.
Oh.
Because there's pictures of my dad in here going fishing. And pictures of other people. Pictures of 7-Up and a bottle of liquor. So it definitely sounds like my family. But like I was just like, so weird. How did this phone get in there? But more importantly, I remember where my dad lived around this time, and he lived with my aunt, and I think my uncle lived there too. They're all living in this one house. And you might remember this, but they lived on the north side of Hoopston. This might be hard for
That's the tire fire, bro.
The tire fire. Yeah.
Dude, I immediately, as soon as I saw that sky, I fucking knew. Bro, that's fucking weird. That's like interdimensional time travel-y fucking weird, bro.
Like, I couldn't wrap my head around it because it's like pictures of my dad. And then she's telling me numbers, and I called my dad.
Yeah.
Like right after that. And because you guys are like an hour behind, so I'm like, all right, it's like 8:00. He's still awake. He's got to be.
Sure.
And and I'm telling him, and he goes, "What?" I'm like, "Did you ever lose a phone?" He goes, "No." He goes, they got pictures of me? Yeah. What? I'm like, dude, I could send you some. And I'm like, this lady from Bismarck. He goes, "What was her name?" I said, I don't even remember. I don't even remember if she said her name.
Yeah.
I was trying to wrap my head around everything. And he goes, "You know what? I got a call from Bismarck just like 20 minutes ago." And I didn't answer because I didn't know who it was. I'm like, she said she tried another number and nobody answered her. Like, it didn't work. So then she tried my number, was the next one. And I'm like, and that's when it hit me. Like, if my dad's number's in this phone, it's not his phone.
True. Yeah.
So this has got to be my uncle's phone. But that's such a... He goes, "Wow, yeah, send me some of those." So I sent him some of those pictures. And I just was like, what was this phone doing in this vent?
That's
like,
weird.
Is it his phone? Was it a stolen phone? And why hasn't this phone been turned on since 2013?
And still has some juice to at least be turned on.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like, like that's 6 years ago, dude.
Predates our podcast.
I know. But yeah, no, she was able to like transfer the pictures over to her phone and then send them over. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. But I mean, she sent me like 80 pictures.
Jesus.
And I'm like, wow, all right, cool. Let me figure out what's going on.
I mean, that's the weirdest thing, because it's almost like you feel like you hear it's a random phone and event or whatever from 2016, and then my mind kind of also goes like, did somebody fucking just time travel? Like, what the fuck just happened?
Right, and like I know my uncle, he's very nomadic. He never stays in one spot for too long. He moves around, usually around the area, but I mean, he's gone as far south as Tennessee.
All right.
And I don't know why. I've never really asked him, why do you move around so much? He's always been in and out. It's like her sister's kind of the same way. It's like, they moved to a new house. It's like, is there a reason why they keep moving? They just end up going to another place. It's like they find a cheaper place or a better place, or it's like, so like I never know where they live.
Damn, that's crazy.
Like verbatim. It's always it's like they live like for a while. I remember. All right, yeah, they've lived here for like a couple years. Nope, now they moved, and they just recently moved, and I'm like that night that I was drinking. We were gonna have the kid, Wyatt, who was just on here, spend the night. And he didn't make it. He wanted to go home. So we actually had to drive over there to get him. So I actually had to leave the little party, which was fine. It was getting about leaving time anyway. And I told her to wait to go. Don't go. I'll go with you. That way you don't have to go alone. Because it's late. Because it was going to be like 11 o'clock, midnight by the time I got there. And we got there and got him. I don't even know where they, like, there's certain landmarks that I know over there, but there's like, I don't know that town, like, at all.
You're just kind of guessing at that point.
Yeah, and it was just like, wow, yeah. And it's funny, we get there, then he doesn't want to leave.
Of course.
I'm like, no, dude, we're going. Pack it up.
Come on.
He's like, is it my birthday? No, it's not your birthday again.
Oh, man.
I think they made cupcakes for him. Or something. And then I think they might have said, since we didn't get to have or here's your late celebration for your birthday or something. He goes, it's my birthday again. He didn't understand. I'm like, you don't have more than one birthday a year. He said it just the other day. Is it almost my birthday? No.
Long time, bro. Long time.
Stop trying to grow older. It's not going to work.
Well, that's like he only has one more sleep before he goes to school.
Well, and what we're doing, I just bought some, like, his school is going to be like kind of like a preschool thing, but we're doing it at the house.
Cool.
And we're gonna like start working with him because he already he has like this little doodle pad, and it's like this weird multicolor. He can draw on it and press a button, and it just clears. It's like digital, and he knows how to spell so many words, and it's nuts. He gets obsessed with it.
That's awesome.
Like, to the point where he's like asking us how to spell it. I was like, dude, you spelled that word 10 times today. You know how to spell it. But he won't stop until you say it.
Huh.
And it's like, how do you spell alarm, Daddy? You know it.
A-L-A-R-M.
L-A-R-M. And then he goes, how do you spell xylophone?
I don't fucking know.
I'm like, like Z-Y-L-O-P-H-O-N-E. Yeah. And then he writes it.
Damn.
And granted, it's sloppy as crap, and it's like different letters of different sizes. but that's what we're going to be working on, trying to make that all tidy, trying to like get him to recognize. And so like we were going to start that last year, and we got started with it, but he has a problem with maintaining certain focus, like with that task. He'll want to go do something else. Like, oh, I got to go do this. And then it's like, no, stay here. And then he gets upset. It's like, no, I am not doing this anymore.
Uh-oh.
He's in charge, damn it. Yeah. I was kind of afraid since he got comfortable in talking that getting him off of here was going to be a bigger deal than it was, but it wasn't. Thankfully he got his taste. He loves coming back here and doing cameos.
I like it. Yeah.
The weekly Wyatt wrap up is on the Game Addicts podcast. Typically, when we record around this time or around the time that he's going to bed about 7, he goes to bed early because he's up and he needs that rest. If he doesn't get that rest, he is cranky as all get out.
Oh yeah, man. Little kids are temperamental like that. Not enough sleep, too much sleep. Not enough food, too much food. Delicate balance. The tightrope we walk, you know.
I know.
No, man, it's awesome though, because like these kids, like Ruby, she loves podcasting. Ollie, he loves podcasting. Wyatt, he loves podcasting. Like these are all the people that are going to be here when we're not, man. And we've put this little seed of hope into them that they can express themselves, and hopefully that they see what we do and our example precedes us, and they make something special, because that'd be the coolest fucking thing. Absolutely.
So I mean, with that being said, I don't think there's really too much else to add for this week's episode of the OGs. I'm all out of stories at the moment. I might it's really weird when you sit down to do this kind of stuff and you're just riffing. It's like you remember certain, like, oh, this story, and that comes to mind.
Or like how the fuck I remembered the name of that music shop being C.V. Lloyd's. That shouldn't have stuck in my brain meats.
Like, how many guitar picks did you just pocket on accident from that place?
Thousands. Because we would always go there. They had that Batwing bass that I fucking loved, and I wanted it, and I never got it. It's one of the only instruments that I ever had my eye. That one and that Sinister Gates guitar are really the only two that I've ever had my eye on that I didn't actually get. But man, C.V. Lloyd's is a time and place. What was that? Sam Ash Music over there by the, what was that? Was it Sam Ash or was it something else? Samuel Music or something?
I never went there. I don't think. Did it?
Yeah, I feel like we took a band trip there once because you walked in and there were pianos right when you walked in.
Yes. Okay, I remember that place was a little bit more set up like a traditional music store.
Yes.
Where C.V. Lloyd's is a little bit more compact.
It was guitar centric.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Wall-to-wall amps. You could try all the guitars. You could take your guitar there to get it fixed. I think Dad had a couple things done with some of his guitars there at one point in time and what have you. Yeah, man. It is weird what the mind will call up when you're in the middle of just riffing these conversations. Like near-death experiences, I was like, okay, I don't think I have any. And as soon as we started talking, I was like, oh shit, that happened. Oh shit, that happened. Oh shit, I left 10 more off the table that I'll save for next time, man, it's yeah, it's awesome to be able to have this different outlet. I think we've said that a couple times on this show since we've started. We're 4 episodes in, which means we're, as of the way it looks right now, about halfway with this first season of this show. But so far, man, I think I'm having a fucking ball.
Well, I mean, it's completely different. I really am enjoying just sitting and riffing and not having to sit here and talk about what's going on in the news, not what's going on the latest and greatest anything, just telling some cool ass stories and having a laugh. That's the best part of podcasting. That was always the best part of JIC back in the day, when we would be recording late and get giddy and go off topic and just start hilariously laughing about something.
Get slap happy in those podcasting hours, man.
I know. So the next time that we record, I think we're going to be in person.
Yeah, you're going to be in my neck of the woods, my friend.
Yeah, next week I'm going to be up there for a concerto, and I think maybe the next, because I was kind of saving some stories. Maybe we should talk about concert experiences on the next episode.
Fuck yes, especially considering you just had a concert experience we didn't even touch on, that I kind of got the cliff notes from Tyler, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely had a blast with Tyler going to see Slipknot. It was pretty cool. Killer set, but we'll touch on that next week. And then, of course, we've already touched a little bit about some concert experience. I think on the last episode we talked about some stuff with Iced Earth, the last time that we got to have some pretty cool interactions with the lead singer, Stu Block.
Hell yeah.
So I got some other stories from other times I've seen the band, and then I've got some other ones too that are kind of like way back in the memory bin.
Yeah, I will say we're going to have one story that I'm not going to be able to tell because it hasn't happened yet, but at some point in the season, I'm going to have a really interesting story to tell about a concert experience, and I can't wait to share that with everybody. But like, honestly, when we go into the concert talk, I'm going to be super excited. I've seen so many different bands and had so many different experiences, some with you, some with other people, some by myself, so that's going to be a whole Pandora's box of conversation I think we'll have. And the interesting thing is, and I think our listeners here should know this, you are actually going to be guest hosting an upcoming episode of Journey into Comics with me.
Yeah, that'll be done when I'm up there in person, yeah.
That's going to be fucking sweet.
Yeah, it'll be the first time I've been on that show in over a year. So it'll be cool to sit down and talk.
Fuck yeah, man. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Folks, as always, you can check out the Journey into Comics Network where you get the OGs on the Journey into Comics Network's main page, journeyintocomics.com. Get us on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music, Spotify, CastBox, TuneIn, and many others. Just search Journey into Comics Network. Also, search for Game Addicts Podcast. Subscribe. They're the best podcasting video game outfit out there. You guys love them. They're great. Even when they have crazy drama with their microphones becoming Optimus Prime, the content is still gold. So make sure to check them out. Also go to patreon.com/Journey into Comics. Give us $1. We don't give a fuck. I need that $1 holla. That's what I'm saying. All right, folks. I think that's going to do it for this week of the OGs, Brando. You got anything else?
I think so. No, man. If you want, head over to our YouTube channel or our Twitch channel for Game Addicts. We do live gaming stuff. We do live streams and stuff like that. So go check out Game Addicts on those platforms as well. Other than that, Nate, I got nothing else to add this week. It's been a great time sitting here talking with you, just bullshitting about some cool-ass stories. And thankfully, hopefully, we won't have any more near-death experiences this season.
Not for a long time, let's say.
Hopefully so.
All right, brother. Well, I think that's going to do it for this week's episode of the OGs. This is OGs number 4. I'm Nate.
I'm Brando.
We'll see you guys later. Calm down your fucking...